ATHLEAN-X.com. Today we're going to talk about the ankle and how it could be preventing you from having normal biomechanics through big exercises, things like the squat and the deadlift. Because you try to get down into a squat or a deadlift and all of a sudden your heels pop off the ground, or you feel pinching in the front of your ankle, or you just feel tightness that doesn't allow you to get any lower. Those can cause problems, and we know that since this is a kinetic chain, the problems move up into the knee or up into the hip, and we don't want that. This is particularly useful if you are a chronic ankle sprainer, somebody that's sprained their ankle before, or maybe you just had an ankle sprain recently. What I'm going to show you here today is going to help you to actually get more movement. So what we do is we look here at the ankle and we have to understand what we're trying to fix in the first place. I'm not talking about tightness felt on the backside here in your calf region when you try to go down into a squat, because if that's just muscle related, we can work on that through stretching. What I'm talking about is that pinching feel or that tightness feel or that jamming feel that you feel in the front of your ankle. You can kind of identify it because it's the part that moves on the fixed bones here, and it's somewhat pretty much positioned in between the two bumps on the side of your ankle that you can feel. Those two big bumps are the fibula and the tibia. They call them malleoli, right? So we know that this thing moves right in the middle of those, and it has to be able to move backwards, right? It kind of hides inside and behind the tibia as it moves up, and that's what gets us into dorsiflexion. As we lower down, you need to be able to get dorsiflexion and keep your heel on the ground. If you're a chronic ankle sprainer, what happens is two things. Number one, you either lose the ability to have this move here in this joint, it doesn't go backwards enough, and we can fix that in two ways like I'm going to show you, or what happens is the fibular head, because of all the sprains, actually gets moved forward too much. It gets in the way. So you can see that if this bone right here gets jammed forward a little bit too much, then this is going to get in the way of this moving freely. So it's going to kind of jam into it. You could do this two different ways. Firstly, you can try to bring the tibia forward on a fixed lower joint, okay? So if you do what I'm showing you here, you place the band around the back of your tibia, clearly higher up, above this area here, above the ankle, 2, 3, 4 inches above the ankle. And you anchor it behind and you step away. Now with it stepping away, the force is that it wants to pull your tibia forward. And we know that if we bring the tibia forward, that's actually making the joint in relation to it go backwards, which is exactly where we want it to go, back. So you get into this position, the band is pulling you forward, and now you just lunge yourself down, and all you're focusing on doing is driving your knee forward here like this, driving forward to get more into dorsiflexion. And you just keep working on that, and you'll feel that it loosens up. Maybe do it about 8 to 10 times. You step out, you get out of the band, you'll notice right away you should have more freedom of motion here to be able to go lower and still keep your heel on the ground. The other way to attack this is to go after the subtalar joint itself. So you can see now I turn around and I go the other direction, and I really want to make sure that the band is low enough on my foot. So see, as I place this band, I'm going below my ankle joint. I'm going right here on the skeleton, down here. And then I step away, and I use my other foot to anchor the band kind of at this downward sloping angle. And you can see that the pull force is now going to be this way, down like this. Now when we go and we angle out and we go into drive our knee forward and down, you can see that we're actually pulling this, again, down into a posterior glide. So we're using the subtalar joint and pulling it down this way, which is again the direction we know it has to go in order to increase that motion. Now, if all that doesn't work, the next thing you can do is you can work on that fibular head. And again, as a chronic ankle sprainer, I will tell you, almost 95% of the time I find that the fibular head gets displaced a little bit too far forward. So you do what I'm showing you here. You put your ankle up onto a bench. You grab the band, you wrap it around itself, and you place it around the back of your ankle. Now, you can see here I'm being very particular to make sure that I overlap that fibular head, the bony area. And I take the band, I'm going to show you here first with my hands outside, and then I'll show you again as I demonstrate it actually going. I'm trying to take the band, I wrapped it around, I'm holding, I grab the band really tight right here because I want to grab onto that little bone, that little malleoli on the outside. I want to grab it and then pull really hard with my right hand as I wrap around, put them both into this left hand, and then glide back. So now what I'm doing is I'm creating this posterior glide. I put my foot up on the bench and then I lean my knee in to try to get a lot more dorsiflexion. So see, as I do it, I'm doing the same thing here now as I just told you. I'm wrapping it around, I'm grasping with my right hand in this case, and I'm really trying to do that, like focus all my force on the posterior glide of that fibular head. And I can guarantee you that if you do that a few times and then step out and get down onto the floor, you'll notice you have much more motion in that ankle joint, and especially if you have somebody that, again, chronic ankle sprainer who has a lot of cracking and popping in your ankle, you're going to notice that you really get rid of a lot of that, if not all of it. It's temporary. You have to do it frequently throughout the week, maybe 2 to 3 times, but over time, when you reposition and then strengthen in that new position, you'll have a much better chance of keeping it like that forever. So guys, I know this is a little technical, but I think it's going to help you out a lot in terms of gaining more mobility so that you don't screw up your rest of your body here when you go to do those big lifts like squats and deadlifts that require you to go down low. All right, so make sure that you work on these, and I guarantee you're going to find more mobility, less pain, and hopefully an end to your chronic ankle spraining. If you found this video helpful, make sure you leave your comments and thumbs up below. In the meantime, this is putting the science back in strength. It is a little bit heady at times, but I think you are looking for that kind of material or you wouldn't be here in the first place. And if you're looking for a complete training program that puts the science back in strength and helps you to get bigger, stronger, faster, at the same time keeping you safe, head to ATHLEAN-X.com and get our ATHLEAN-X training system. All right, guys, I'll be back here again soon. See ya.